Hello, I'm Dr. Mark Farley of the St. Louis Paranormal Research Society, and how I got into the ghost tour business is that I used to be an aircraft mechanic, and I was avionics, and avionics is an aircraft electrician. And when I was laid off from the airlines, a lot of my friends who were ghost hunters started asking me to build them special equipment. So I started building equipment, and it turned into a nice little business. And about a year after that, January 2011, I flipped it into an actual tour business. And a few years ago, I was able to get space here in the Linton Brewery, and I run one of the most popular tours in St. Louis. Now, my background is I have a aeronautical maintenance engineering degree from St. Louis University. I also have my doctorate in philosophy from Thomas Francis University, and I do investigations, lectures, tours, and I am probably one of the very few people that make their living in the paranormal. I don't have a secondary job. I am a paranormal professional. And if you want to visit our website, go to seeaghost.com. That's SEEAGHOST. Also, our Facebook page is St. Louis Paranormal Research Society, and our Instagram is See a Ghost. These lights here, they'll come on and off even if you're walking under them, you know. So you can walk down here, and as you approach a light like this one here,
yeah,
they'll turn off on you.
That's craziness.
Yeah, and it's really weird. Or if it's already off and you're walking underneath it, it'll turn on. And I was doing a live chat one time here, and right underneath that pavilion, people in the live chat, I didn't see it, but people in the live chat kept saying they saw somebody standing under that pavilion. And when I went over there to check it out, there was nobody there. And there's also people told me stories about this round fire pit here. They used to do rituals. But the thing is, this is a beautiful part of the park. And it's kept gated off now 24/7. And they still maintain it. We obviously saw people mowing.
I don't know why they would do that. I mean,
seriously, when we came here, we saw two tractors with a zero turn and a tractor with a brush hog on it. So they mow back here. And the thing is, these pavilions at night, they'll be lit up. Dusk to dawn light.
so it still has power, obviously.
Yeah,
they're running it out here. So you think they don't need to do that because of what happened over here?
I think they keep it gated off because of what happened here. They don't like people back here. You saw coming in. That police officer was trying to intimidate us.
Yeah.
He was looking at us but we just kept walking.
Yeah, because as a second, I didn't know if we were allowed back there, or that's the reason why I brought it up.
Well, the way I figured it, if we weren't, he would have hit his lights or something, or got on the PA and said, "Hey, you can't be back there." And then we would have just turned around and came back.
Yeah.
So they can't tell us we can't be back here during the day. But this is the playground set right here. Now, according to urban legend, there's a serial killer, the Lake Drive killer. And the Lake Drive neighborhood, which is on the other side of the park here, he was kidnapping children from that neighborhood. And some of them he murdered here in Frank Holton Park. Some they even found in lockers in the East St. Louis High School. Somehow he got got him into the high school in the locker. There's another killer here, and this is the killer I think they don't want us to talk about, and very few people know about. They would come back here and they would find women posed on the playground equipment back here. They were obviously tortured, murdered, but they would pose your bodies back here. And that's the reason why they keep that shut off down there.
What do you mean by pose? Like?
Well, he would have them like tied to the swing set like they were on the swing, you know?
Oh.
Or you know, sitting on the jungle gym here.
Like they're alive, like doing something.
Yeah, they, you know.
That's creepy.
Like, he's happy, ain't you? Like you'd have them like posed here with their hands like tied up right here.
Like in midlife.
Yeah, like they're in life, like they're playing. And I heard two versions of the story. One, they were women. Other, they were children. I've heard that version too. But now this is where I think I would love to do this. So this is actually mulch that's kind of decayed. But if you're going to hide a body, if you bury it out here in the grass anywhere, you're going to leave a hole in dirt. You're going to see it. But in a playground, if you take a rake, scoop back the mulch, dig a hole, bury the body, put the dirt in, and then scoop the mulch back over it, you never know there was somebody buried.
Not at all. But I mean, I would think that.
And what's weird is you walk, and as you walk, some areas are really hard, and then some areas are really soft.
Yeah, I feel that.
Like this. And I would love to sit here and get a probe, a piece of rebar, and start probing this and see what's down underneath it.
You think they could have missed some things then?
What?
Like the cops?
I don't think they even looked. Seriously. East St. Louis has a backlog of at least 200 murders. If there's a serial killer out there, are they going to be able to connect the dots with a backlog of 200 murders?
And that would be very hard.
Right. They're not going to see any similarities in the murders. And I really do think they did everything they could to cover this up. And I have a friend that's a police officer, and he knows a lot of Cokia Heights police officers, and he's a Sojay police officer, actually, my friend is. And he told me, he says, he came to me and he goes, "Mark, what are you doing in Frank Holton Park?" He didn't know I was coming out here doing investigations. I was just doing the live chats. And apparently the Cokia Heights Police Department talked to him. They said, "Hey, keep your friend out of there." So they didn't want me back here.
But that's so weird why they wouldn't let anybody back here. Like,
that wasn't, in that cop that we saw, the police officer, that wasn't Department of Natural Resources. That wasn't a forest ranger.
That was undercover.
That was a Cokia Heights police officer that we saw.
So it's clear that they just want people out of here until they sell it or get you.
Well, it's owned by the state of Illinois. They own it. This is their park. And the thing is about Frank Holton Park is it's not uncommon during the summertime. You'll hear police reports about people committing suicide by driving their cars into the lake. I think last summer that happened 4 or 5 times. And they have dredged this lake and pulled out like 1950s Chryslers.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Open the trunk up, there's a body in the trunk. So this was a mob dumping ground at one time. You know what, and this is called the Grand Moranis. You know what Moranis means in French?
What's that?
Swamp.
Swamp?
Yeah, the Grand Swamp is what this is called. So, I've also heard stories of cryptoids out here. And we've seen that. like out here in the woods at night. Because what's eerie is, if you look, you can still see streetlights back there. And they'll come on.
Yeah.
And you'll see them come on out there in the woods, and then you'll see something by a tree, and it leaves. And that's kind of freaky. But I wholly believe the curfew, the reason why the curfew's up now, you can't come back here at 8 o'clock, because we would come back here, because this used to be open 24 hours. You used to be able to come here 24 hours a day. And last summer, they had a big gang fight out here. Hundreds of people, just like a Royal Rumble out here. And I think that's one of the reasons why they closed the park off. And I think another reason why they put the 8:30 curfew up is because we kept coming back here doing investigations. Because evidently they were watching us, because they knew who my friend was and talked to him. I think out of a common courtesy, they talked to him instead of harassing me.
You think that cop know who you were, or?
I know my friend, he's a police officer. He knew who I was, but I think they knew he's a ghost hunter too. And I think they know that he's associated with me.
Gotcha.
I'm not going to say his name because he is a police officer. I don't want to cause him any trouble. Yeah. And I brought Loki. Sometimes, now Loki's running around kind of common, but the one thing I like about bringing him to places like this is he'll react to things. If there's something out there that he doesn't want to deal with or he's scared of, he'll come and he'll basically just lean up against my leg the whole time. So, yeah. He's the best piece of paranormal equipment I have.
Most animals are. Like, my dog, I swear I've had a couple times in my house that my dog just lift her head up and look, and then she just came laid on top of my chest.
Yeah.
So
He's a good boy. But yeah, I mean, some of the stories, and they tried to keep this all hush hush. They really did, and this only survives an urban legend now. These stories, they didn't let the media know about it. They didn't let anybody know about this was going on back there. They didn't even want to deal with it. And the same thing, like if you do research on the package killer, you definitely get a distinct feel by doing the research in the newspaper articles that the city of St. Louis, they didn't want anybody to know about it. They were trying to keep it quiet. And I think here they were successful. It was in East St. Louis. No one cares about what happens in East St. Louis. And the time this was happening, they were also finding bodies on I'm going to use the word prostitutes for lack of a better term, but they found prostitutes that were missing from Exchange Avenue, and some of them were even ending up in like abandoned houses, posed in abandoned houses. And I wonder if those prostitutes were the women they found posed here too. Maybe you took them back here, raped them, murdered them, and posed them.
So on this, this is where he posed them, on these swings.
Yeah, right here on this jungle. I won't call it jungle gym, but yeah. And you know what? Here's the thing too. This is nice. I mean, kids can play on this stuff. Why are this not opening? I mean, if they kept it mowed regularly and kept everything really up, this is a nice part of the park.
But yet there's a gate in front of it.
Gate, and it's locked, and it's been locked for years. They've kept it locked off for years. And then they put a new gate up. When they put that sign up, and that's the only place you see that sign, curfew sign, 8:30 is in front of that gate. And they put a new gate up too. But if you look at, why was that Cokie Heights police officer worried about us coming back here? That's the thing.
Yeah, why did he stop? That is kind of weird.
And stared us down. It's not like, oh, what are they doing? He was there for a good he watched us walk over the bridge till we went out of sight.
This ground is craziness.
It is. I mean, look, this is solid. This is hard. I'm 230 pounds. This is pretty solid, but you walk like over here. It's soft. So. What are you doing?
Yeah, just the fact that there was dead bodies laid out here on a child's playset, you know, that's kind of crazy to me. And this ground kind of makes me feel uneasy.
And the thing is, it was just the mulch that decayed. It'd still be hard. It wouldn't be. I mean, you get soft spots when your feet goes down, your foot goes down a couple inches into the dirt. And that's the thing too about East St. Louis. Most of the paranormal community won't even investigate or do any type of research in East St. Louis because they're scared to. And East St. Louis is this pocket of paranormal. I mean, I could spend the rest of my career just researching East St. Louis paranormal ghost stories and stuff. And I don't know. I love researching East St. Louis.
It is a very interesting place.
And the thing is, and also what I love is the fact that it is in East St. Louis. I'm the first to talk about it because no other ghost hunter will talk about it.
Why do you think that is?
Because they're scared to come to East St. Louis. East St. Louis has a reputation of being dangerous and violent. This is where you come to get carjacked and murdered, not where you come to do paranormal research.
But if you think about it, it's probably, it's a great spot to do it. I mean, all my life, every time I hear about East St. Louis, I hear about the death, murder, gangs, I mean, it has a reputation. It was, one of the most deadly cities in the country.
Yeah.
But if you go out there and be cautious, but act like you belong, if that makes sense.
Yeah. The thing is, the locals know what's up, because here's the thing. I have never come back here and seen another park guest back here. I've seen workers back here, but I've never seen other park guests. Because I think they know what happened back here.
They just want to stay away from it.
They may not know exactly what happened, but they definitely know something's not right back here. And you may say, people think East St. Louis is dangerous, and I'm not arguing anything or arguing for or against that, but the thing about East St. Louis is there is a sense of community here, and they talk. People in East St. Louis talk to each other. They know what's going on.
I bet at one time this place was just full of people.
That was beautiful at one time. Why would they spend the money to build this fire pit here if they didn't plan to use it?
And when was these murders? What year?
They were around 2000, early 2000s, like 2005 to 2010. I've never gotten an exact year though, okay? But for my research, that's what I kind of got, doing the research on it, talking to people. That's the time frame that feels correct for it. Because I can't find any newspaper articles or anything related to it. And then 10 years earlier, of course, the Lake Drive killer, he killed kids here. See, look.
That's documented, right?
Why is that light on and it's activated by a light sensor?
So it's activated by a sensor?
Yeah, that you can see it on top.
Huh.
There's like a little Dixie cup on top.
But it's on because in it's daytime.
You hear it hum? Hold on. Hear it hum? There wasn't humming. We didn't hear that noise when we walked past, did we?
Mm-mm. That is strange.
Yeah. So probably the bulb's burnt out in this one finally. And
well, it's just a big pure energy source, if you think about it.
Yep.
And they obviously still, it's just crazy to me that if they're not allowing anybody back out here, why are they leaving the electricity on?
And here's the thing, too.
Like, these things light up at night, right? You said? Like,
yeah,
these
they light up,
pavilions?
they come on and go off. When you walk past them, they either come on and go off. And people say, well, that's because the light sensor's going bad. But why does it do it when you walk underneath, exactly when you walk underneath it? And it does it almost on cue.
We might have to come back here at night again.
Oh, yeah. But the thing is, you got all these, like these bathrooms here, right? I mean, you could take somebody in there and torture, and nobody ever know that you tortured them.
Yeah, back home, if a park like this would have been utilized no matter what.
Yeah. And people come on the other side, they fish over there, but you never see anybody fish on this bank. We were driving, we got back here in the car one night. That gate was left open. And we were driving, and we were just circling the parking lot here. And off in the woods there, we heard, because the windows were down, we heard a scream. It was a person screaming. And it wasn't coming from over there, it was coming from the woods over there. And nobody had the balls to get out of the car and look.
Why not?
Now, look at this here. Talking about maintenance. You saw that's new lumber.
Yeah, it is. So why would they do?
Yeah, why would they spend the money to keep this up? And the dude, I mean, lumber is expensive. A 2x4 is $7. That's probably a $30 board there. Why would they spend the money to keep this up? And the thing is, if you're going to replace lumber like that, why wouldn't you mow it more? I mean, it's just, I don't know.
It doesn't make sense.
Nothing makes sense. Why would you keep this sectioned off? And obviously they're not, I mean, here. Before I would have replaced the lumber, I would have at least picked up the derelict wood laying around. You know?
The random trash, yeah.